to the Lone Pine Real Estate Company podcast and radio show, creating solutions to navigating tricky real estate waters. I'm your host, Rachael Umstead, broker and owner of Lone Pine Real Estate Company here in Midcoast, Maine. Real estate isn't always smooth sailing. Whether you're buying, selling, investing, or just trying to figure out your next step, the path can feel overwhelming. That's why this podcast exists, to bring clarity, confidence, and creative solutions to the complex world of real estate. And fun. We all want fun. Each episode will dive into real stories, practical solutions, and expert insight to help you make smart decisions and avoid common pitfalls, all while staying grounded in what matters most: your goals, your future, and your peace of mind. Please note this podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal, financial, or real estate advice. Listening to this episode does not create a client-agent relationship. Always consult with a licensed professional about your specific situation. So grab your coffee and join me under the pine. Together we'll chart the course. Welcome to the Lone Pine Real Estate Podcast and Radio Show. We're meeting here today with Stacy Whitley. We're super excited to have her. Stacy, with her husband, owns Whitman Properties, LLC. And I've had the privilege of working with them, selling homes that they've built and homes that they've renovated, over the last several years. So welcome, Stacy. Thank you very much for being on the show. Well, I'm just going to get started and ask you some questions. Tell me how long you've been, or how long Jim's been building.
Geez, I would say Jim's been building for 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
now I don't know for exact sure, but definitely for 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then tell us a little bit about Whitman Properties, like how that got started and how long you guys have been working together.
Well, Jim and I got together, and he had been building for clients for years, and his dream was always to build new and sell, or flip and sell. And so when him and I got together, it was just something that we thought we would try. And that was right around 2020. And so the first house we picked up was, before the COVID hit. So we got a really good deal on it, but flipped it during the time when, the market kind of exploded.
Yeah.
So that was a really fun flip for us, for sure.
Okay, so with Whitman Properties, what is Jim's role in it and what is your role in it?
Well, to be honest, Jim kind of makes my dreams come true. Now that sounds really weird, but I have a vision of something, and I'll just be like, this is what I want to do. And I'll show him pictures, or we'll try to draw maps, and then he'll say that's unrealistic, or it is realistic, and we'll try to kind of play it out. And so really he's making my home dreams come true. Every build we have is a version of what I would love in a home.
And so you do the design side of it?
Yes.
Okay. And what was your progression in life? What led you to that?
To the design part?
Yeah, to be because you're very gifted in it. And so what did you always, your whole life, love design, or?
No, I totally fell into it. I had no idea that it was a gift that I was even good at. And I still question whether I'm good at it.
You're very good at it.
But it's just not anything I do have a creative mind, and I love certain aesthetics, but I have no idea where it came from. Just
were
his dream really is what ignited it inside of me.
Before you met Jim, were you into design?
No.
You weren't. What about your house? Has it changed a lot since you've started doing this?
No, I think in my own home I did experiment and find things that I loved.
Okay.
And so I probably did have some of it in my home, and experimented there and try new things, and
Okay. And so how is it working with your spouse?
It can be extremely challenging, but extremely rewarding. So there's parts of it that are hard because we are married, and so mixing, a partner with marriage can be really tough, but we've learned how to communicate in a way that's healthy. It did take us a while, but I think at this point now we understand each other's gifts and how we work. So, for example, when we first started, I would want something, but I didn't know how to put words to it. And so it would be frustrating because I wasn't being able to communicate what I actually wanted. So he would do something and I would be like, no, that's not what I want. And so we learned that I'm very visual. So he'll have to, for me to visualize something, he has to draw it or build it or halfway build it and be like, is this what you're thinking? And I'm like, yes, because when I see it is when I know what I want to tweak. And so that's been a bit of a learning curve, but I think we've got it down now.
You and Jim have this incredible story,
yes.
Which is it's very, it's not your typical story.
Yes.
And do you want to share it? It's amazing because this whole Whitman Properties is really, it's so much more than just a company or a dream.
Absolutely, yes. So, yeah, sure. I can give some background on how we ended up together. So, Jim and I have known each other since, my kids were little. So probably, Tessa's 21. We probably met Jim and his wife, Bobby, at the time when Tessa was probably a baby. So she's, for 20 years. And Bobby and Jim became my late husband and I's best friends. So Bobby and Jim and Stacy and Sam hung out all the time, and we would go on trips together, and we would, just go to dinner together. They'd come over, we'd cook for them, and we just became really good friends. And Bobby was a really good friend of mine, and to be honest, Jim was one of Sam's only friends.
Wow.
And so our relationship was this foursome where we would just have so much fun together. And Bobby ended up getting really sick with breast cancer, and Sam and I, were by Bobby and Jim's side through that whole process. And sadly, Bobby passed away in June of 2000. Was it June?
2015.
Yeah, June of 2015, which was super devastating. And Sam and I really just were by Jim's side, helping him through, just trying to be the best friends we could possibly be. And then 3 months later, Sam was killed in a tragic oil rigging accident, which obviously sent me into a different, place that I'd never been.
Right.
And Jim really became, the day that Sam died, Jim came and started to work on my house because it needed work, and we were vulnerable at the time. Me and my kids were very vulnerable because we didn't have Sam anymore who could help and fix.
Right.
And so Jim stepped in at that time and really helped us even get our house ready for winter that winter. And then just because we had just been such close friends and we were grieving together the loss of our spouses, obviously through that process, an attraction was created, which is really still weird to say. Because I looked at Jim like a brother. Not at all in any way, shape, or form was I ever attracted to him until way after Bobby and Sam died. So that's kind of our backstory. So we always felt like there was a bigger purpose for us being together.
And then what was the progression of this development? Because you were forming a relationship together.
Yeah.
Blending families.
Yes, which was tricky at the beginning, but a lifesaver in the end. So Jim was called Uncle Jim. My kids called him Uncle Jim because he was that close to my kids. But when we transitioned into dating, it was really hard for the kids to wrap their heads around it. And I'm sure for Jim's kids as well. But now, that was 2015. We were married in 2018. And by 2020, we were building houses together and creating amazing things.
What's your favorite What's your favorite part about what you do with Jim?
Well, I love to create something that I've never created. And so I don't like to build the same thing over and over. I always say I don't like to be a one-trick pony. So I want to experiment and do different types of styles. But I do have a core that I'm stuck to sometimes.
What's your core?
I probably like French country style is probably what I would say is my favorite. So if I'm like want something new for my house and I'm like searching online, I'm gonna search French country because it's just so gorgeous to me.
Yeah, beautiful. It's classic too.
Yeah, very classic.
And okay, so I've been involved before I had Lone Pine Real Estate in selling your houses. So your first house was Alisad.
Yes.
What was your favorite part about that house?
Well, I loved that we took some of the older pieces of the house and kept them in the house. So I took all of the old light fixtures and I rewired them and repolished them and we put them back into the house. I felt like that was very unique.
Yeah.
I love that. I love to blend the old with the new. That's why I love to renovate houses because I think the character of an old house is so amazing. So even with our new builds, I'm always trying to find a way to bring an older style into the new, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to add character.
Right.
And
yeah.
Because you don't have like a lot of people, so you started out with renovating together and then you sort of migrated into building new.
Yes.
Which is really quite amazing because not everyone can and the way they like to do it is you like to do your own thing and then have someone come and buy. So you're not like a traditional builder where you go and someone hires you to build a house. I mean, you could do that, but you guys are you're artists, you're creators. You have a vision and you like creating a product and then having people come and buy it because they love it.
Yes.
And you've been wildly successful, in my opinion, with renovations and also with builds because a lot of people build and they just don't have, well, first of all, Jim's an incredibly talented builder.
Yes.
And he has, I mean, everyone who sees what he does, he's like incredibly precise and the craftsmanship is amazing. He just does high quality building.
Yes.
So that's every time. And so much so that you kind of go overboard.
Yes.
That may be like your weak point in building.
I would say that's the sad thing is that our weak point is we want to make the house as let me say Jim wants to make the house as tight as possible so that the heat is very efficient and the windows are very efficient and everything is so tight. So yeah, that's very huge for him because he is just so gifted and we found that out. So he did a few things for us after that too.
So it's also finding your people.
Yeah, that's been huge.
That's been huge. Your person who does wallpaper.
Yes. Oh yeah, love her.
Yeah, she's great.
Yes.
She does my wallpaper now too. And then all your different subcontractors and that house was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And I think it was so amazing because it was right on Route 1 in Lincolnville Beach. It went from like this wild jungle, overgrown, dilapidated house that you not only completely renovated the inside outside, you had to tear part of the barn down, right?
Yeah, we did tear part of the barn down, yes.
So you renovated the barn, you renovated the main house with this incredible kitchen, with that custom made island.
Yes.
You had a little nook in it. Did you love that? I love that.
Just trying to find a way to have some sort of a dining room, so that was a really cool idea. And I love that about houses too, that you can take the space and create new and different things. That house was very fun because the downstairs is completely different than it was when we first started. So.
And then you made the barn into sort of a gathering place, right?
A game room / gathering place. So there was a movie theater up the stairs in the loft, and there was pool and ping pong, and we would have family gatherings there like when it wasn't being rented.
And then you had a back patio.
Yes.
That was to die for, right?
Yes.
Did you have a hot tub there?
Yeah, we did. We had installed a hot tub and huge patio. So it was great for big gatherings. And we had a lot of fun family times there too. We actually lived in that house for about, I think, 4 months.
Oh, wow. Did you like living in it?
It was different.
Okay.
It was different than living here, but we just needed the space at the time. Our house was, we were actually allowing my cousin to stay here because she had been sick. And so her family was here. There was about 10 of us living in this house. And so we were like just giving her and her kids some space before they moved into their new house. And we were taking some of our own space. So it was actually really amazing that we had the ability to do that at the time. And it was awesome. And they would come and visit us there and we'd come and visit them here. So it was cool.
And then you had a separate, so I want to finish off with the big house. So one thing I noticed with the big house, because in Owl's Head it was so beautiful, and I don't remember if you staged it at all.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Not a ton, yeah.
But you really went all out with the art.
Yes.
And you kind of found your footing with art.
I did, yes.
In that house, didn't you?
With Owl's Head?
Yeah, no, with Lincolnville.
Yes, yeah.
You kind of like created your own style with how you present it, because I remember the gallery wall.
Yes.
And then you had a little guest house there.
Yes.
So you get to rent that out separately.
Mm-hmm. And that was so fun.
It was so cute. It was a 1-bedroom.
1-bedroom,
one
little
bath
cottage. Yeah.
It was so adorable.
Yeah.
And then when you listed that house, I just remember people calling me saying, "Was there a professional designer who did it?" Yeah. So
oh my gosh,
you definitely have like an incredible gift. And then after that, you were maybe at the same time or after, you were doing the cottage on Lerman.
Yep.
And you had bought a camp and you were going to renovate it.
Yes.
And that's sort of what propelled you guys into new builds, maybe?
Yeah, because we couldn't save that camp. We had to pretty much tear it down and build it new. And it was so much easier for Jim not to have to,
retrofit.
Yeah.
Things, yeah.
Right, to fit. And so, and that camp, we made it look like a camp. And it was, Jim did all custom kitchen in there, and it was beautiful.
And you've had a lot of fun with appliances too, haven't you?
Yeah, there I did. I love different kinds of appliances that are, unique and older looking style. So in there we did put like a Bertazzoni, I remember, and a Ilia, I think, fridge, which is just fun and different.
Yeah, okay, so then that was like sort of a major risk too.
Yes.
Because what I found in towns being in real estate is there can be like this glass ceiling with how much you can sell things for. But you guys have really shifted it because of the quality of your builds and your design style. People like sort of eat it up, and you're able to sell and do relatively well.
Yes.
Okay, so then we go from hope to, then you started building completely new, right?
Yes. Yep.
And you did 2 houses, one and then the other. Tell us about that process, like how that shifted and how you came up with a design and of the outside, because it's quite different to build something from scratch.
Yes. So the first house we built in Hope was our thought process was to build a beautiful home that was a 1-story but had plenty of space. That was kind of our idea, and I was trying to pull some like European style architecture. So we had curved doorways,
inside
that archways, right? We actually added a screened-in porch onto that house, which has been like, we want to put one on every house now, because it's just so essential for us to be able to be outside without being bothered by insects. It's huge in Maine, so that was the first time we had added that to our home design, and it was just the best.
And you guys have one here. We're
do.
at Stacy's house right now with this beautiful stone fireplace. So you have one here, and it's sort of, you're kind of passionate about it yourself.
Yes.
And then now it's like a trademark for you.
Yeah, it's like something we want to do in every house. Just because you want to be outside in parts, certain times in Maine, and it's hard to be.
Yeah.
It's hard to be outside because the insects will overtake you sometimes. But so that was super fun, and the people that bought that house had been looking for like European style, and they were super excited about it when they found it, and they are elevating it. Like, I would love to see what they're doing with it, because they have even done more design to it.
Do you have certain things that you always do, or you're always thinking about, like, these are a must?
Well, I would say we always want to have an amazing kitchen. And we always want to make sure that there's, like, the bathrooms are very functional but beautiful, I would say. Those are probably the two things we focused our most attention on, would be, you want a good kitchen that can function, and because we love here, Jim and I both love to cook and we love to entertain. So our idea is how can we make this house a place where people can entertain and feel comfortable in their kitchen.
And what about the outside design? Do you have any, like, go-to things?
I would say that not necessarily for me, probably Jim.
Okay.
Probably Jim. And I mean, I'm always just trying to make it look beautiful from the outside.
And you're a window person.
Yeah, definitely. I love windows. I love to do something different. And so we'll use black, we'll use white. We typically stick with one brand of window, but windows can change a house. It really can. Elevate it or not. And
so you went from the one floor, then what was your progression to the next house? You wanted to do something different?
Yeah, so I just travel. I travel in Maine a lot because my son plays a lot of sports. So just going into, like, the older towns and cities and noticing that hip roof houses were, like, very popular, and these are all older style houses, and I'm like, I just loved it.
I love hip roofs too.
Yeah, so I was like, I just want to try a hip roof house to see because to bring what Maine was into the now. That's kind of the way I think sometimes. And so I'm always trying to capture, like, these beautiful old styles and bring them, how can we build that still? And so we did. We built a hip roof house with a screened-in porch, and an addition with a beautiful kitchen.
And you always have, I think one of your always is you have, like, some element of wallpaper.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Tell me about, like, how you go about that, or where you put it, or, like, because I know people want to do wallpaper, but you're never really, I shouldn't say never, but you're not like the entire room wallpaper person.
Yeah.
So tell me how you figure that out.
So I'm always like, you can either love or hate wallpaper. And so when you're building a house that somebody else is going to buy, it has to be something that isn't overwhelming. And so a lot of times we'll put wallpaper in the bathroom because it's not something that is going to overtake a house. And so I love to use it in, like, the powder room of the house because it's a beautiful spot to have something different. But if you don't love it, it's kind of hidden, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We typically do wallpaper on a stairwell. Yeah. It just makes it interesting, and it's just like the corner of your eye sees it, but it's not, like, overwhelming for the house. So I've done the wall up the stairs a few times, and the reaction has always been positive.
Right. And then what about your lighting fixtures? Like, how do you pick that out?
That's another way that I'm just like, I have to do something different. I want to do something I've never seen before. I want to, again, pull the old into the new. I buy a lot of lights on Etsy. Mm-hmm. I love 17 and 90 lighting. Those guys help me so much to like use they help me a lot with the exterior lights especially, but I find this really cool fixture on Etsy, but I need compliments to it, and they are always willing to work with me and just try their best to find what I need.
That's awesome. I'm trying to think of some other, I know that you've experimented with brick tile. What do you think about that?
I love it. Again, just because it's different.
You did it on the floor too, right? I love that. And
I think we did it.
And on the fireplace.
On the floor and on the fireplace, yeah. Again, it's just something small that's different and it's like the texture is different. So it just adds a small, not too overwhelming contrast, I guess.
Yeah, and I know that Jim has things too. Probably you both do, but when you're designing the house, I've heard him say that he likes to keep the primary bedroom separate. Is that true?
Jim is he's private, and so yes, if I were to say one of the things he wants in every home is for the primary bedroom to be almost its own wing, I would say. And so in most of our houses, that's what you'll find. It's very private. It has its own bathroom and its own closets, and I think people really love that. And the new design that we're building right now, the master or the primary it's just more elevated than we've ever done.
That's amazing. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah.
So then he also doesn't, and maybe this is true of you too, he doesn't like to put, which I think of this too, but not everyone, because in Maine, and like these rambling old, farmhouses or houses, you can have, rooms that you walk through to get to another room. So you can have like a progressive bedrooms, which I know you wouldn't do that, but there's also where you have things like a bathroom right off the kitchen, where you actually like open the door
and see the kitchen.
So he's very like a stickler, right?
Yes.
To have like hallways.
Yep.
He doesn't want a door opening
into the kitchen or the living room.
Yeah, you're thoughtful too with. You always like create, and like you think of those things, but you always create like another layer of like, you elevated or texture or something, because in that house in Hope, the first one you did, you had a cathedral ceiling.
Yep.
And the second one, because you did 2-story, you didn't, but you did wood on the ceiling. Like you're always elevating it.
Yep. Always trying to find a way to just, elevate is a really good word.
It's not like cookie cutter at all.
No.
Which I love that about you.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, and then you're always careful too about how you position houses on a lot.
Yes.
And I know that Jim doesn't like to see neighbors, right?
No.
He's a stickler for privacy.
Yes.
So then, okay, so tell us about your project you're working on now. Give us a little like peek into your world of your new project.
So again, just wanting to do like an older style New England home is kind of where we started with this one. And this one has a covered porch that overlooks, this beautiful wooded area. In the wintertime, you can see the ocean, I think. And then in the back, there's a screened in porch. And this one, we're going to put like an outdoor kitchen with a grill in the screened in porch. So that's something different that we've decided to try.
Okay.
This one has a full dining room, which we don't always do.
Like a formal dining room?
It could be.
Okay.
Yep. And another thing we have added the last two houses and then into this one is like a coffee bar / bar station with its own sink and its own fridge. A place you can put like an espresso machine. We'll have water running to that spot, so it's easy to hook up an espresso machine.
Does it have a pantry?
Always want a pantry.
Yeah, because you always, it's kind of another signature always with you guys is pantry.
Yes, and again, older style houses always had pantries, and I love a window in a pantry. Who knows why, but Jim finally allowed me to have a window in my pantry. So I have one in this house. That's good. So
are you doing anything completely different? Because you have similar flooring styles in houses, right? Are you doing anything that's like you've taken a hard turn in a different way?
So this one, I wanted to, again, older style homes have like the pitched roof that's really steep, and the rooms upstairs are smaller because of the pitch of the roof. Now that's not something you would think, oh, let's put that in our house, but I really wanted that in this house. And so Jim was great. And we ended up putting in a dormer. So one side has the very steep roof pitch. I just feel like it's very classic New England. And
I do too. I
it just brings you back to when you were a kid and you're staying at your grandmother's house and your little bedroom was upstairs with the sloped roof, and I don't know, I just love it. So we did do that in this house. We've never done that before. I'm trying to think of what else we may have done. This one has a primary bedroom, but it also has another bedroom that could be considered a primary because the bathroom is attached to it.
Okay, and that's upstairs?
And that's downstairs. So we have two kind of primary bedrooms downstairs because, again, Jim is all about people wanting to have their privacy. And so even if you have like a guest, this guest would be able to have their own space in a bathroom. So that was a new thing we've never done before.
What about the cabinets? Are they different, or tell me?
Yeah, I try so hard to do something different, but that's hard for me. I think I typically do a shaker style cabinet.
Oh yeah, classic.
I usually find my hardware on Etsy. I try to do some sort of handcrafted, I love like local artists. I love people that create things that you've never seen before. So Etsy's great for that. Being able to find something that you've never seen before. I work with a guy down at Vikings. His name is John, and he is so good for me. He helps me with the cabinets and different colors and
what are you doing
different
for the color?
styles. This one I haven't decided yet. I'm a little nervous, but I think I'm gonna try a wood, like just wooden color, which I've always done like white or green, or I've done like a paint color, but this one I might try just some sort of a stain.
Okay, exciting.
Yeah.
What about countertops? Have you thought about it yet?
Well, I really want to go wild granite this time. I want to do something very different. And I actually wanted to do this in the last house, but with the people that ended up buying the house, our style got changed slightly because they were involved in the design process. But so this one I would like to do some very different, grainy, bold colored granite.
Exciting.
Will I do that? I don't know.
Okay. Okay, so you're such an incredible designer and he's such a great builder. Give some advice to people who are just getting started or maybe thinking about renovating or building. What mistakes have you made, or what advice would you give to people just getting started and changing their own home or trying to figure out their own style or what works?
I would say just try to find something unique and different. Like, I feel like there are things that can be very classic and unique. You don't want to go like, way out there because I don't know if you'll love it forever, but just something that makes your house stand apart from everybody else's. And I would say bring in antiques with like an old with the new. I feel like that's super important.
And you seem to have, if you correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to have like maybe like a neutral palette as far as the room goes.
Yes.
And then you bring in elements that are bold into the room. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And that might that's the way I have been in the past, and I might change.
Because you like your design is always changing, which I love about you.
Yes. And
you seem to be like on par, like with all of the major designers. Do you find that true of yourself?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I went recently to see Joanna Gaines, who's also like her style to see her. I didn't see her personally. I mean, that would have been amazing, but I saw her stores and where she sells furniture and everything, and her. I mean, like any type of industry or I think creativity, artistry, your style progresses.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that about you. Like you have like a classic, it's a timeless style, but it's like always evolving, which 100%. I love. I love that.
But yes.
And so I was noticing when I was there, I'm like, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, Stacy would love this. Stacy would love this. She had like these moody colors in there.
Oh, I love that.
And moody paintings too.
Oh yeah.
How do you choose art?
So hard. Something different, authentic.
You've gotten a lot from like Goodwill and
yes.
I'm
a thrifter for sure. Yes.
Yeah. So when you say bring in the old with the new, you're not necessarily going to some major antique dealer.
Oh no, never actually.
Tell people your tricks with that. Like where do you find stuff?
I find a lot on Facebook Marketplace or Goodwill. I definitely will find things there. I have some local antique stores that I love. I have actual antique dealers that I love. Like, you know, I can go to them and be like, hey, can you find me something like this? And they would. I love to dig and find, so even like the Salvation Army, I'll find Salvation Armies like in smaller towns because I feel like you never know what's down there. And so I'll go and I'll kind of explore smaller thrift stores. There's a couple places like in Hollowell or Augusta, you know, just different places I love to visit. Yeah, and you find things that you would never expect to find.
So are you always in your mind thinking about what you're looking for, or are you surprised?
Surprised.
Okay.
And if I have a project, I'm usually motivated by like a certain project. And so I was just recently, you know, I was asked to help design a camp. And I think you were my connection to Blair.
Right.
And so you know, my focus is, I'm so excited because I have a focus. Like I know exactly where things are going to be. I'm starting to create a vision of what I want it to look like, and I'm trying to incorporate what they love. And so being able to go to an antique store, I'm like, yes, that will fit perfectly because I'm starting to have a vision for what it will look like.
And then when you have a vision, is it all in your head, or do you do it on Pinterest, or how do you do it?
A lot of it is in my head. There are times that I will pin things on Pinterest. I do use that a lot. But I just have a vision. I don't know.
And then you just see something and you're like, yes, that fits my vision.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll get all these pieces together and they won't fit. Some of them won't, and that's okay. But I do try to get a bunch of stuff and then I just go from there.
What's your favorite part about it? Like is it the hunting for things, or?
Yeah, I love hunting. I love to make something that was kind of not great looking into beautiful. I like the transformation process.
Yeah, so when you're building like this camp, it's gonna be nothing. I mean,
yes.
It's being built, but really it's like a blank
canvas.
Slate.
Yes.
Yeah. And you get to bring it to life.
Yes.
I think you're so incredibly talented at it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much. I think this has been amazing. I love hearing your story, and people can, if they want to see what Stacy's done in the past, they can connect with me. You're not looking to get clients to build, but you will be selling a house soon.
Yes, we will.
And so we always love having buyers.
Yes.
And you're gonna love this house. If you haven't seen her previous work, you want to look at it, and you're gonna love this house. I'm really excited. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been fun.
All right, thanks, Stace.
Thank you.